welcome to the Vault Report, Rhode Island Rams edition. Here once again with URI assistant coach Kenny Johnson and my partner Abu Bakr. I know there'll always be room for improvement. I know that's what you guys are doing in the film room now, but it must feel good to start 2-0, Coach Johnson. And also, I did want to say congratulations too on your son signing with St. Joe's. So a pretty big week for you. Must be a proud moment.
Yeah, it definitely is. Obviously happy for the good start. And extremely proud of Makai and the journey that he's been a part of, to get to this point.
I wanted to start, like I said, 2-0. You guys are entering a big week. You got Wagner. You guys also get to, you guys are going to play in the tournament over at Mohegan Sun with some great competition. I want to start just with this week, this past week. What for you, as fans, you look at what you guys were able to do. But as you guys go back and kind of look at the tape and prepare for this next week, what have you guys seen? Some positives and some things obviously you guys are working on.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the season is a journey. As you get started, these early games, it's as much about trying to defeat the opponent that you're facing as it is about trying to identify, how we can hit the mark on our non-negotiables, as a program, trying to establish our identity, getting better each and every night out. That's the goal as much as it is trying to win these games. I mean, as a competitor, obviously you want to win every game you play, but you have to be, understand there's going to be some ups and some downs. You just hope to have more ups than downs, but we want to try to firmly establish ourselves as a defensive-minded program. Defense is what's going to travel, on the road and be able to, hopefully show up in any environment that you play in. So, trying to figure out how to come together as a defensive unit while also doing a good job of sharing the basketball and, trying to work out some of the kinks, as we get better.
In your offense, which has been clicking pretty well, and I think we've seen some ups and downs actually within games. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about Jaden House. To talk about Jaden House and the tremendous start that he's had, certainly scoring the basketball at times. That we certainly saw it in the scrimmage and in the exhibition against Assumption. Going downhill, he sometimes is almost unguardable. So very, very strong, has a knack for being able to get shots off inside. But he's also shooting the ball extremely well. He doesn't take a lot of three-point shots, but the ones that he's taken, he's been very efficient. Did you expected him to start this quickly? And just thinking about him right now in his game, he's obviously going to be able to score. What other things you think he might be able to improve upon to be an even more complete player?
Yeah, Jaden is the type of young man that he loves basketball, first and foremost. He's what most people would refer to as a hooper. He's someone that, I think in any environment, who he is as a basketball player will show up. You touched on it. He is a player that has a scoring knack, but he's also becoming what I believe to be a student of the game. He realizes he has a lot of improvement to do, and he's attacking that diligently. And I think that's starting to show up for him in his early season success. I mean, he's diving into scouting reports. He's extremely competitive, and I think that's what shows up more than anything else. Is his desire to compete, his desire to win, and although he can be identified as a scorer, I think he's much more of a team player. He's someone who's trying to understand what the team needs in a given situation. And in this early season, he's trying to deliver and take advantage of his opportunities. I think his teammates are doing a good job of finding him and putting him in good situations, whether it be the forwards with their screens, whether it be the guards, with their spacing and then them getting him the ball in certain areas. And obviously, I think Coach Miller is doing a good job of taking advantage of his skill set and putting him in positions to be successful. But like I said before, it's a journey. It's a long season. People get paid a lot of money to put forth scouting reports and try to identify ways to slow people down. And I think that that's going to be hopefully one of the strengths of our team is that we have the ability to score at all five positions on any given night. So to touch further on what can he do, outside of scoring, I think that he's a tremendous on-ball defender. I think he's improving as a help side defender. I think he's improving as a communicator and as a leader on this team with his energy level and with his consistency. I think that you'll see him be able to have a greater impact moving forward, even rebounding the basketball with his physical size and strength. But he's doing a lot of things, a lot of small things that maybe go unnoticed, a lot of things where he has room for improvement that are going to just enhance his impact on our team and hopefully our season. And, we're just looking forward to being in the journey with him, in the fight with him as we go through this process.
Definitely. And you discussed you guys have multiple players that can score in double digits. You guys have had good balance. You've seen that the first couple of games. We talked about, some freshmen, true freshmen, that you guys were bringing on board that would get some time. And, I'm looking at a guy like David. We talked about him, Cam, Esteves as well, getting quality minutes. They seem poised, specifically with David. I mean, I would say just his ability. We kind of heard the hype. Miller talked about it during A10 Media Day, but his ability to see the floor and to pass as a big man really impressed me, especially in this pass game. But, was there anything that, I don't want to say surprised, but what did you see from them? Again, he's not your typical freshman, but Cam as well. Their ability to produce at the collegiate level so early is pretty impressive.
Yeah, honestly, it started in the summer. Every single day is an opportunity to get better. We've challenged these guys. I think these guys have risen to the challenge. Like I said, just like beginning of the season, I mean, there have been some good days and there's been some days for improvement. And I think just the consistency of their intentionality, I like to say, like they have great intentions every day when they come to the gym. And when you have great intentions and you start to stack good days, when the games come, good things tend to happen. So, they're going to have their ups and downs, especially as true freshmen. But I think the fact that they are looking to pull in the right directions, as the rest of the team, as the older group. I mean, they're coachable. They're great teammates. They work really hard. So you would expect nothing but good things for them.
Well, one thing that you certainly have to be encouraged about, and I know that the fans definitely are, because at the games I'm able to sit with them and hear the comments. I think everyone was certainly surprised at the dominance that you demonstrated in a couple of your games so far. Really, really big leads, but then having a little bit of difficulty closing out those games and sustaining that sort of dominance. What needs to happen to improve for you guys to be able to win games that are going to be a lot more competitive, if you will, going down the stretch?
Yeah, and I mean that's what I was speaking of kind of in the opening. It's while we have opponents on the schedule, it's really about us and us figuring out how to maintain consistency throughout the process, throughout the game. Basketball is a series of next plays. It's something that I subscribe to, something I believe in wholeheartedly. I mean, the first play of the game is a jump ball. And your goal as a basketball player is really to try to figure out how to win every next play and move on quickly. And when you're doing that, you're not playing the scoreboard. Whether you're up or you're down, you want to just figure out how to put a good solid 40 minutes together, no matter who's on the court. And I think that's the goal. A lot of what we're going to do, a lot of our success is going to come from not from our offense, but from our defense. I think our defense can translate the offense. And I think if we eliminate defensive lulls, things will feel a lot better for us as we go through the process. And we're going to face good opponents. So, it's really going to be about understanding how to just come closer together. Have our leadership as people step into those leadership roles to help us, kind of push through for 40 minutes.
you guys this week, you got Wagner on Tuesday. You guys have had some time, obviously, to prepare for them. As you've made it clear, of course, especially this early on. You're preparing more for yourself, getting your team ready. But anything that sticks out for you on the tape about this Wagner team? I don't know who they played last. I know I believe they have St. Bonaventure. They played Fordham in an overtime game to start the season. But what have you seen from that team? What's been the focal point in practice, kind of leading up facing them on Tuesday?
Yeah, we're excited for the challenge. Wagner, they're a tough, hard-nosed group. They play hard. I think they take direction from their coach. The coach staff has done a good job establishing their culture. And we know that they're not going to come in here with the mentality of taking a back seat to us. And that's what you want. You want those type of tests. You want to embrace the competition, the physical nature that they're going to bring to the table. I think some of the things they do will challenge some of the areas that we want to improve and show major improvement on, or especially early in the season. So we're excited for the challenge. We know it's going to be a difficult one for us. And that's what you want. You want to find out if the work you're putting in the gym, in your practice sessions, and then your individual skill development sessions, if they can show up on game night. So we're looking forward to tipping that ball up and getting after it.
I know your squad has been, relatively injury-free going forward. Of course, you came in and Rory Stewart. Yes, knock on wood. I've got a big wood table right here as myself. Rory Stewart, contusion of the thigh, hasn't been able to contribute the way that I think you've anticipated so far this season. And of course, you have Mr. Bilal, who's sitting out, who's going to only add to your front court depth. And also, as we've seen with Lou Firmino, a guy who might be able, from time to time, be able to stretch the floor and open things up a little bit. And you guys have played up, high, low basketball pretty well, throwing the ball over the top, and you're able to do that by bringing the bigs out. But you'll have even more dimension with Bilal coming back. Coach Miller mentioned that he was on a schedule maybe to be back within a couple of 3 weeks in terms of practice is concerned. Is that still pretty much the schedule for him?
First off, you sounded like Jeremy Firmino's agent a little bit there when you said stretch the floor. He would love to hear that. He would love to hear that. He's been working really hard. He's a skilled guy. And I think, all the guys have been working hard. Rory's been working hard, competing. I think, it's a competition. These guys work really hard each and every day. And I think the main key is that, players who may not play as many minutes now, down the stretch, next game, next week, next month, 2 months from now, you never know. They may be the reason, the difference makers for us winning a game, and I think that's the key, is having everybody improving daily in preparation for their moment to do it for their brothers, for their team. Josephat, he's been working really hard. He's been very diligent as far as his rehab. I think our trainer has done a great job with him and working with him and our doctors, and he's been following all the instructions, and he's been working really hard to get back. And, I'm not sure exactly when the timeline for him to be in, rejoining us in full capacity, but I know that he's chomping at the bit, and he's, extremely excited about their process. And, and he's got to come back, and he's got to compete, and he's got to work, with the rest of these guys. The season is here. It's real. It's physical. It's full speed ahead. And, and honestly, our thing is, man, we're diving into each and every opponent to the best of our abilities and trying to put forth a game plan that will allow us to be successful, while also improving ourselves. So he's contributing to that, every day, even at this stage of his recovery process. So we're looking forward to the day when he's able to join us fully.
Awesome. And then, just last question, Coach, again, thank you for the time. Having these 3 home games to start the season, Coach Miller's talked a lot about it, creating this home court advantage, just the benefit of that, the energy you felt, kind of at these home games. Again, it's a process. You're building that up. I know Abu and I have seen the Ryan Center, when it's full capacity, when it's rocking, it's one of the hardest places to play within the conference. easily. But just kind of the ability to play these first three games, how important is that? And how you guys feed off this crowd.
It's extremely important, honestly. I mean, we need it. We need it. I know as a fan, you may not understand how important it is all the time to the team, but those players, they come out, first thing they do when you walk on that court, you look up and see who's in the building. When you're making a run, the way the crowd pushes you forward, the way this is a very knowledgeable area for basketball, but especially Rhode Island fans. I mean, they understand how important defense is, how important it is to make the right pass, to share the basketball, to have good body language, to have great intensity. So they cheer when those things are on display, and that kind of reemphasizes what the coaching staff is preaching as well. I mean, the bigger the crowd, the more support we have. I honestly feel like it allows us to, as a team, when I say us, some of the players included, to feel as though they're energized. I think we have to do our part. We have to put a good product on the floor. We have to continue to get better, compete. But I really hope that this becomes once again what it has been, which is a place where each and every night out, no matter the opponent, the fans show up. They're excited about what they see. They feel pride in what we're doing, because that's what we're working for. That's what we're working towards. These players, it's a brand new roster for the most part, right? And they were sold on a vision of Rhode Island and Rhode Island's fan support and the energy that they get from the fans. They came here for that. They came here to be a part of that tradition. They have an understanding of the past, and they know that this is our time and our chapter in that history. But they want to see it. They're working, they're performing in hopes that they can be a part of the program that they've heard about, and that they've seen with that great fan support. So we appreciate everyone who's been here. We look forward to everyone who I know that I've spoken to a lot of people around town who plan on coming. The students have been great. I think the student body has great energy this year, especially even early on. And we're just looking forward to continuing to build that momentum up.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Coach, thank you again. Again, Tuesday, Wagner, and then you guys will head away from home, neutral site. A couple very good games this weekend as well at Mohegan Sun. But appreciate the time as always, and best of luck this week.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Go Rhode.